Hey, Intuitive Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring to you today's collective reading for all of you singles out there. So welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, we're going to stick this guy back in. But we do see the Emperor showing up here, strong Aries energy, but most importantly, it does represent Aries in the North Node at this time. So we're going to dive into how to feel more desirable, possibly what's put a damper on your love life, how you can attract new love, new energies into your world. And lastly, what lessons are there in being single right now? And of course, we can't leave without taking a look at who is the next person to show up on your path. All right, so let's dive into the energy here for you, collective. How to feel more desirable. What's put a damper on your love life? How you can attract new love into your world. All right, we're going to get three because there was a solar plexus card that came out as well. And lastly, what is the lesson in being single right now? And you did have a major arcana. Yeah, there's a lesson here. And then lastly, we're going to pull from this deck here, and I've taken out all the cards except court cards. So this is the next person who is to show up on your path, collective. Next person to show up on your path, okay? They're saying one more. Okay. So we'll look at those at the very end. So let's start off here. How to feel more desirable. You do have the Three of Wands, but we see double three energy here. So Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles. There's something here about reaching out, maybe connecting with friends, with groups, with communities. It's about taking the lead. And for some of you who are single, and maybe you're single and loving it, maybe you are single and focusing on your finances, your career, your family, perhaps you're not necessarily looking for love, and that's okay, because when you're ready, when you've learned some very valuable lessons, which we'll take a look at here, this is about you taking the lead and opening yourself up by reaching out in whatever shape or form that may be for you. Because the Three of Wands, I mean, double threes are about harmony. They're about union, birth, creativity, and advancing yourself to be able to feel passionate about stability, be passionate about connecting with others. This may have been a little bit of a struggle for you, collective, because you want to reach out, but at the same time, you may feel like there are little opportunities, okay? And we see that in the next position here. But this is about you believing and trusting, because you can see there on the Three of Pentacles, she does look a little bit disappointed in her options, or she may look a little bit disappointed in not feeling like she's calling in a tribe. And maybe that's why it's important to open yourself up to, again, some sort of community. This could be a program. It could be a class, a hobby that you're interested in. It could be going out for dinner and drinks after work with your colleagues. This can be opening up in a plethora of different ways, because double threes is a really powerful energy of using that creativity, that passion, and that drive within you. So how do you feel more desirable? You have a card of passion. You have a Wands card here. This is about spiritual force. It's about feeling inspired. So doing those things that inspire you. And you may want to take a deep dive. What does inspire me? What are my passions? Do I love to cook? Do I love to bake? Do I love to dance or sing or write? Whatever you do that inspires you, even if you think other people may not like it, that's okay, because we're not focused on others, we're focused on you. And when you align to this energy, you have a higher chance of feeling inspired and connecting and tapping into that divine energy. And then we move over here to the Pentacle realm. So we see the manifestation with the fire, and we then see the pentacles, right, with the earth. So then you're able to feel more desirable, feel more confident, because we have solar plexus showing up here in how to attract this, which we'll take a look at. but it's about feeling more confident in your own skin. Now, what's put a damper on your love life? Yeah, some of you are hermits. That's okay. We've all been there, right? Some of you are just homebodies. You like to do your thing at home, right? You're probably thinking, well, Melissa, I do love to do yoga, but I do it at home. Or I do enjoy cooking, but I haven't taken a cooking class. So sometimes we just get into our comfort zone and we start to feel within our energy. We feel safe, just kind of, ever since COVID as well, we tend to take a little bit of a step back. And maybe a lot of you have been doing some deep healing, some deep soul searching, because the Four of Cups here can be feeling a little bit at times depressed, maybe focusing on past energies. Now, this could even be past relationships that haven't worked out. It could be focusing on things that you felt like you're missing out on. I'm getting here FOMO, fear of missing out. So some of you, there is a deep fear of missing out on love, but at the same time, some of you are just content and busy doing your thing. Maybe creating a business at home, maybe taking care of your family at home. Some of you, there's been a damper in your love life because of health. I'm getting with this Hermit as well. Okay, strong Virgo energy here. There's a sense of withdrawn energy. This is a lonely energy as well at times, as well as maybe even rejecting opportunities that could present themselves because you've been stuck in a stuck in a comfort zone, which can become stagnant. It may not always be the healthiest, but maybe you've even turned a blind eye to opportunities. But the damper here is saying, when you focus on what's right in front of you and focus that, maybe not all people are cheaters. If you've been with a cheater, not everyone is going to abandon you or ghost you or block you. Not everyone is going to be like your ex. And I feel like there could be some deep ingrained beliefs around that as well that sometimes puts a little bit of damper on your love life. And that's kept you single, some of you, for quite some time. Or it's kept you in a repetitive pattern of repeating the same type of people. You are highly attractive, collective. You do have a lot going for you. I don't care what age you are. You are very intelligent. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're spiritual. You have a lot of skills, gifts, and abilities. And I absolutely feel without a doubt that you can attract other like-minded individuals that are aligned with your energy, are aligned with your goals and intentions as well. Now, how can we attract this new love? Well, you do have here the solar plexus, and this is about our power. It can be the place of ego as well. This is kind of the seat of our empowerment. And I feel with the solar plexus showing up, some of you, it's being able to attract love into your life by being confident that first and foremost, that love is available to you. And if some of you are thinking, well, I'm never going to find love, if you are holding up in your home, right, and you're not getting out there, you're not reaching out as it says here, then of course your belief may become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But Spirit is saying here, sometimes we got to get out of our comfort zone, because that can be the solar plexus, our place in the world. If we feel scared of what's going on in the world, or we feel like everybody is out to get us, or we're going to be hurt, or we're going to be disappointed, right? That can really sabotage at times attracting love. So we have to first and foremost be confident that there is a partner out there, right? 8 billion people in the world. Yes, there's absolutely going to be someone that aligns with your energy. So for those of you out there, I'm just going to call you out here for a moment, who are still reeling over a past person with the Four of Cups, I want you to remember that. There are so many people in the world that are more aligned, that can give you what you need, because there can be reciprocity, there can be love, respect. I mean, I've heard so many people say, well, all you need is love. No, love is the foundation, of course, but you need common goals. You need respect. You need to be able to want to grow old, or, be aligned, be someone's best friends. And it starts with ourselves. And I feel like you've done a lot of deep healing. You've come to a place where sometimes it even feels more safe to be alone. And that's okay. If, we don't have to have that deep belief that we have to be with someone. And that's something that gets stuck in our heads. That's what society tells you. That person's alone. They must be depressed. They must be lonely. There must be something wrong with them. We are in the day and age where I feel like there are more people alone now than ever. And it's because we're realizing that, yeah, we don't have to be in a union, especially if that union is toxic or if that union is unhealthy, or if it's not fueling your soul. Of course, there can be karmic lessons and contracts that you've come in to learn with others, have families, have children with others as well. But a lot of you do feel like it is part of your path to be single. And if that's the case, then absolutely more power, right, to the solar plexus. But for those of you that truly want love, and this is a desirable thing that you are after, which you have it, and I see a lot of you are after it here in one way, shape, or form, we have to feel like it is attainable. Okay. And that can be a big thing for a lot of us is this love attainable? Can I have something better than the past? And the answer is absolutely 110%. Now, some of you, in order to attract new love into your life, it's important to heal any aspects of yourself that may have been broke down a little bit in prior situations, prior relationships, or conditioning. Maybe there was, again, some sort of heartache or heartbreak. Some of you, this is about taking care of yourself. As they say, self-love is the biggest factor that can go into meeting new people, right? We don't want to go into a new relationship right after a rebound with all of the baggage. We don't want to go into a situation where we still are carrying a lot of emotional or mental or spiritual ties to someone of the past. We don't want to attract from a place of fear or loneliness, because sometimes we then attract other people who are in that same energy, and it's not always in our highest good. Not saying that two lonely people can't come together, because they absolutely can, but this is about you healing some of those deeper wounds within you, especially around confidence, around abandonment, around some deep-seated pain of trust, betrayal, infidelity, things of that nature could all play into an effect. So how can you attract love into your life? Heal, because when you heal, the world heals. And the Four of Swords is all about healing. And just breathe, right? Sometimes there is this impatient, obsessive energy, or we tend to avoid healing, or we tend to avoid love by busying ourselves 24/7, taking care of, what needs to be taken care of course, but then not giving ourselves time to focus on maybe some of the healing or hurt and process it. Then we become workaholics. We tend to ignore the signs of what our minds are telling us or what our thoughts are telling us, because I am getting here, some of you are having a difficult time processing either being single, or you tell yourself, because sometimes the Four of Swords, it is mental. It is about mental stability. And I feel like you're trying to get to that place here where you attract new love because you are feeling more stable on all accounts, not just mentally, but physically, emotionally, and spiritually as well. Because then that's going to open you up here, right? To the two of Wands. And this is about spreading your wings. It's so you can make that choice consciously. It's so you are choosing deliberately what you want. And I'm getting also being a choice, not an option. So instead of someone just being an option to reel into maybe some sort of healing mess that still needs to be configured, still needs to be looked at or processed, I feel like this, and this goes for other people, not just you, collective, it is about you being able to make a choice. I want to be with that person, not just have that person as an option. And we see that so many times where people are throwing themselves out there out of loneliness, out of rejection, out of fear, out of some unprocessed wounding, and they're choosing people to be an option where that's not really true soul relationship alignment. At least if you're watching these type of videos, I don't feel like that's what you want. You want something spiritual. You want something in depth. You want to be able to choose, and you want someone to choose you. You don't want to be anyone's side piece or option. And it could be about getting honest with oneself. All right, what's the lesson in being single? Although we just talked about that a little bit here, but the lesson is all about, these are big. 5 of Pentacles, feeling alone. This is about abandonment as well as coming in from the cold. Some of you, this stems from childhood. Maybe you left the house early. Maybe you moved out at 16, 17 years old. For others of you, there was a sense of deep abandonment. Maybe you were married prior and someone really did a number where you felt like you couldn't come home or they couldn't come home. But the 5 of Pentacles is a card of health issues even, but it can be pride. It can be wounded ego. Someone may have jeopardized or sabotaged a relationship because of their wounded ego, and either you or the other person was affected by it. So the lessons here are around dependence, independence, because codependence could have been a factor. How to be able to be sustainable and stand on your own 2 feet. This could be about feeling like you don't have to have someone in your life to necessarily feel a sense of completion or feel whole, because everything you need is within you. Some of you, I'm getting were widowed as well. Okay, there could be a lesson within being single because of some sort of loss or grief that you've gone through. And I do feel for others of you with this 5 of Pentacles, this can be focusing on career. It can be focusing on doing what you need to do to pay the bills, to survive. And maybe love hasn't been in the forefront because maybe the people that you've attracted, perhaps they were working on their finances or their business or their career, and you were too. And some of you also struggle to be able to attract people who are financially independent, or maybe this is a struggle yourself at times, but there's some lessons here for you to focus maybe on your own health and your own money at this time, because a lot of you, there's lessons around money. We have the 3 of Cups. What's the lesson in being single right now? For some of you, it is about infidelity, third-party energy. It doesn't mean that someone did cheat, although it could have been a factor for some of you, and there were some deep lessons around this. But 3 of Cups, and look at all these 3s in your reading. The only 3 we don't see here is the 3 of Swords, which that's the most important. The one we don't see, 3 of Swords, is the pain processing here. So something deep-seated, this could be subconscious for you, collective, where 3 of Cups is feeling left out. And instead of feeling left out, how can you open yourself up more? How can you connect more with friends, with family, put yourself out there? And some of you, it's lessons around being introvert and being extrovert as well. And then we have the Chariot energy, Cancer. And it says it's all about, movement and love, because the energy here of love, Cancer, which is water element, you mostly are all aware that water doesn't like to sit stagnant. What happens when water sits stagnant? It can create, mold. It can create, I don't know if it creates mold, but it creates a non-good environment. We don't want to stay in that. That water needs to be flowing. That emotion needs to be flowing. So when we get stuck up on it, then it tends to kind of put blockages in all areas of our lives. So the lesson here is to keep that heart flowing. Don't shut down. Don't block that like a dam. And so for a lot of you, you did feel like there is a big delay, or maybe you still feel like there is a delay when it comes to the Chariot, but it's about letting love move and flow and having that self-love within yourself, to be able to see yourself as beautiful, as handsome, as strong, as independent, as successful, as courageous, as a wounded love warrior that can come back from anything, right? And some of you, I also get something with struggling with the way that you look because of something. Maybe some of you have burns, some of you have scars, some of you have gone through surgery, some of you have had cancer. There is an issue here around loving the self, to realize and believe that someone else can love you just the way you are. All right, this is big messages here. Now, who is the next person to show up on your path? Let's take a look. There were two cards that wanted to come out, which is interesting. This may be a characteristic of the same person. I feel like it could be two separate people. It could be person that comes in before a person. So let's see here. Yep, and this could be why. Oh, so we have two page energies. So interestingly enough, two pages can be younger, right? They can be a little bit, sometimes a little bit immature. I just have to put that out there. They fall in love easily with the Page of Cups. This is a beginning of a relationship as well. That's more childlike. It can at times be quick. So for those of you that are looking for love, just pay attention to any red flags, because of course, it doesn't show up here as a knight, a king, or a queen. So it doesn't mean that this page cannot turn into that potential, but there could be some growing that the both of you do together. Now, Page of Swords is very inquisitive. He's very curious. Sometimes he's okay with getting into a little bit of trouble. So again, pay attention to anything that may feel a little bit too good to be true, or pay attention to Page of Swords here. Maybe any sort of gossip around this person. You could be getting into a relationship or involved with someone who maybe you have heard gossip around them. And I feel like it's important for you to trust your intuition, not believe everything that you've heard. And the Page of Cups, though, is a really beautiful energy, but they are in love with the idea of love, right? This is a classic romantic, someone who does wear their heart on their sleeve. It's like kindergarten love even. This is the butterflies and all. So I feel like there's something that you may be, a lot of you may be meeting people, but I feel like it could be a spark to the next chapter, because I actually want to pull just a couple more. I don't feel like the next person you meet for a lot of you is going to be for your forever person. Let's take a look at the next chapter after you, or what this could turn into even. Because I feel like there's a next chapter energy. And there we have action. There's the Knight of Wands. A lot of passion, a lot of desire. So we are making movement. We are making progress here. Let's see where this progress leads for the collective. Is this going to lead into something stable, committed, mature? What do we have here? In all relationships, mind you, start off with the page, because it is that young, new honeymoon phase. It is being able to get to know each other. That's part of the Page of Swords. Get to know each other, asking questions. What do you like? What things interest you? What are you curious about? What are your life goals? Right? So being able to get to know someone, and I feel like it is important here for some of you to just try to maintain emotions when you can, because sometimes you fall in love quite quickly. And I feel like there could be a lot of passion, a lot of even lust showing up here between you and the next person coming in. Yeah, but we go back to the page here. So a lot of this energy is fun. It's flirty. It's opening you up, especially for those of you that have been single for a long time. That's what is important now. Yes, a lot of you may want to call in a king or queen right away, but I feel like it's important to open back up, rediscover who you are, get to know each other instead of just jumping into a 10-year relationship where you got divorced and then another 10-year relationship. Have a little bit of fun is kind of the message and the energy that I'm getting here. And for some of you that are saying, well, Melissa, I've been dating so many pages. I just want to meet a king or a queen. Then go back to some of these lessons that we talked about, because lessons are repeated until they are learned. So we can attract new love a certain way, but if we still have some unfinished lessons, which we talked about here around, feeling alone, feeling isolated, or third party energy, if there's still any sort of healing, we got to let love move through. And if a person's not your person, you're going to know. And that's where we go back to that option versus a choice energy. That is what I have for you, collective. Happy singlehood here. A lot of you are beautiful, bright, intelligent beings, and you're very spiritual as well. And I have no doubt that when the time comes, look at that, there's the king, that you are going to find someone who does match your energy, who is reliable, trustworthy, handsome, independent. We see King of Swords here, so possibly for some of you, air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I absolutely feel that you will be able to find what it is that you are looking for. It's all a process. It's all a journey. And as they say, pain is inevitable on this path of love, but suffering is a choice. And for those of you that feel like you are suffering, let's move over here to learning lessons so we can attract new love into our worlds. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I hope this resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Lots of love.